Well, good evening. Good evening. I'll tell you, over 35 years ago, visionary philanthropist Billy Aaron, wife of the late Baseball Hall of Famer Hank Aaron, and former Atlanta Mayor and United Nations Ambassador Andrew Young, envisioned a signature event that would unite a community in celebration of the phenomenal work being undertaken by our nation's historically black colleges and universities. That event, the Atlanta Mayor's Mass Ball, progressed and expanded to the point where other communities around the country began to embrace the promulgation of such an event. And UNCF began to host celebrations commemorating the legacy and contemporaneous relevance of HBCUs in cities from coast to coast. Now, as a native Atlantan with a parent and grandparents who are HBCU graduates of UNCF Atlanta-based schools, I grew up marveling at the splendor and tremendously positive impact that this event had upon the lives of the Atlanta University Center students. Accordingly, it was in late 2019 that my team and I at then Edward Waters College envisioned the possibility of bringing this kind of signature event to our great city here in Jacksonville. Of course, to make our aspirant dream a reality, we needed to secure the enthusiastic backing of perhaps the most indispensable element for bringing this kind of event to life, that being the support of our former mayor, Lenny Curry, and now through the continued tremendous leadership and support of our current outstanding, history-making mayor here in the city of Jacksonville, the Honorable Mayor Donna Deegan. Madam Mayor, we want to, and I want to, personally thank you for lending your support of this now 4th annual Mayor's Mask Ball. And we're also grateful to you, Mayor, for championing this evening's worthy endeavor in continuous support of the work we are collectively doing to accelerate the growth of Edward Waters University and our Newtown community through investments that support the academic and experiential development of our students who matriculate into and become a vibrant part of our city. Towards that end, the critical importance of having an institution like Edward Waters in Jacksonville simply cannot be understated. You see, HBCUs make up only 3% of our nation's higher educational institutions, but they educate 14% of all African-American college and university students and nearly 20% of all African-American graduates in the U.S. Yes. You see, without these institutions, the black middle and professional class would not exist, as HBCUs like Edward Waters University are responsible, hear this, for 75% of all black PhDs, 85% of all black doctors, and 50% of all black engineers, attorneys, and pharmacists are produced by HBCUs. On the whole, these venerable, revered institutions educate nearly 1/4 of black science, technology, engineering, and mathematics degree recipients. These degrees are critical because they translate into good-paying jobs and viable career paths. In this way, HBCUs are often the catalyst that lifts low-income first-generation graduates from poverty to sustainable middle and/or professional class incomes. In fact, Edward Waters University is a national leader in doing just that. As the most recent 2025 edition of U.S. News & World Report's annual Best Colleges and Universities publication placed Edward Waters University number 25 in America in its social mobility rankings. That ranking reifies and publicly recognizes our superlative effectiveness at changing the lives of the students we're blessed to serve. Accordingly, individuals who graduate from college make nearly an additional $1 million throughout their careers compared to non-graduates. And HBCUs truly level the playing field for African Americans, as UNCF's Frederick D. Patterson Research Institute estimates that within 10 years after earning a degree, the average HBCU graduate has an annual income of $70,000, exceeding that of non-HBCU graduates. For decades, UNCF has been a beacon of hope and support for Black students and historically Black colleges and universities, including our very own Edward Waters University. The organization has risen to the occasion by intensifying its fundraising efforts, advocating with elected officials to secure increased federal funding for HBCUs, and providing critical support to needy students. These efforts, in collaboration with the exceptional teams at EWU and at all of our UNCF member schools, have helped build stronger, more resilient institutions that are surviving and thriving. They are now more than ever poised to seize new growth opportunities and provide the transformative education that our students so richly deserve. And now, for nearly 160 years, Edward Waters University has been at the forefront in shaping leaders, educating generations, and standing as a pillar of excellence and eminence on Kings Road in Northwest Jacksonville. We are extremely proud to share that overall enrollment at EWU has increased significantly by almost 30% since 2019, making Edward Waters University not only the state of Florida's fastest growing HBCU, but also the city of Jacksonville's fastest growing college or university over the past 5 years. That same 2025 U.S. News report that I referenced earlier also this year lists Edward Waters University as the #1 ranked private HBCU amongst regional colleges in the South. That's something to be proud of. For this current academic year, Edward Waters achieved its second highest student enrollment in over 2 decades. And this current spring term, we enrolled over 1,000 students for the second consecutive year for the first time in 21 years. Edward Waters has nearly doubled its academic program offerings since 2018 through the onboarding of new undergraduate degree programs in computer and information science, public health, forensic science, social work, accounting, and nursing in collaboration with the University of Florida's College of Nursing here in Jacksonville, another first for us at Edward Waters. And as you all know, you hear so many folks always talk about Edward Waters College, but of course we're now Edward Waters University, meaning that we now offer graduate degrees through the advent of 4 new 100% online master's degree programs in business administration, cybersecurity, public administration, and education. Indeed, with the support of our collective donor community and individual supporters like you seated here today, we will continue to explore new and accelerated ways to provide much-needed financial support to the students that we serve. But to continue this much-needed beneficence, we need your continued investment to help us build even more innovative funding strategies, as the more students we help to attend and graduate from HBCUs like Edward Waters University, the greater the impact on our city, our state, our nation, and the world. It's not only important to continue events like this, but also to celebrate and recognize the passion, commitment, dedication, and fervor of individuals who understand that a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Now, towards that end this evening, it is my distinct pleasure to recognize one of those individuals. He is a friend to so many in our community and throughout the First Coast region. And for nearly 2 decades, he has been and continues to be a stalwart supporter of Edward Waters University. He is a proven strong advocate for EWU and most of all, a true champion of education. When I arrived in Jacksonville nearly 7 years ago, tonight's Champion of Education awardee was amongst the very first individuals to reach out and welcome me to our city. But even more than that, he didn't just reach out to welcome me, he offered and connected me with tangible resources by delving deeply into his business and philanthropic networks in and throughout the community in support of our work. His investment of time and insights have been indispensable to me as president over the years, and in 2022, he and his lovely wife, Jennifer, continued their tradition of making meaningful investments at EWU, as they made history by giving the largest one-time private donation of $2.5 million to our institutional endowment. At the same time, he graciously accepted my invitation to become a member of the Edward Waters University Board of Trustees, where he continues to serve as an integral member of our board's finance, development, buildings and grounds, and board development committees. A native of Baltimore, Maryland, tonight's Champion of Education awardee is the oldest of 8 siblings, who was the first in his family to earn a college degree, which he paid for himself by working summers at an asphalt company. After graduating from the University of Maryland, he earned an MBA from Harvard University before embarking on an over 40-year career at the nation's premier transportation and logistics company, also known as CSX Corporation, headquartered right here in our great city of Jacksonville. From 2003 to 2017, he served as chairman and chief executive officer of CSX, where he earned a reputation as a transformative leader whose dedication to education and community development left a lasting legacy. Under his leadership, CSX became one of the most successful transportation companies in North America, but his passion for supporting education truly is what set him apart. Throughout his career, he has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to advancing educational opportunities, particularly in the fields of STEM, which are critical, as we all know, to the future of our workforce. He played an instrumental role in driving CSX's educational outreach programs, which provided resources and support for our schools, teachers, and students. These initiatives include scholarships, mentorship opportunities, and partnerships with universities to foster the next generation of leaders and innovators. Even more, his outstanding dedication to education extended even well beyond the corporate world. He has advocated for higher learning and workforce development, supporting programs to equip young people with the skills needed to succeed in a rapidly changing global economy. His personal involvement in education reform and investment in communities speaks to his belief that education is truly the cornerstone of economic and social progress. Under his stewardship, CSX was recognized for its business achievements and contributions to society, including substantial investments in local education systems and charitable initiatives. His exemplary leadership continues to inspire many in the business and educational sectors, and his commitment to nurturing future leaders will have a lasting impact on generations to come. In addition to his corporate leadership, he has steadfastly supported local educational institutions and nonprofits. Hear this. Through his and his wife's private foundation, he has donated over $55 million to various charitable causes. Causes focusing on increasing educational opportunities and promoting healthy relationships. He has served on the boards of the Hubbard House Foundation, which provides support to victims of domestic violence, the Florida Council of 100, a group of top business leaders in our state, and the Business Roundtable, a national organization of CEOs working to improve the economy and opportunities for all Americans. His leadership, excellence, and philanthropic efforts have also been recognized through numerous local national awards, including the 2023 Association of Fundraising Professionals National Philanthropy Lifetime Achievement Award and the Harvard University Business Review's list of best performing CEOs in the world. His commitment to education and community service truly exemplifies the qualities of an eminent champion, and his tireless efforts on behalf of those have transformed countless lives and created a brighter future for generations of students and individuals the world over, making him justly deserving as this evening's man of the hour. And so at this time, I would ask that you would please rise from your seats and join me, in congratulating our 2025 Jacksonville Mayor's Mass Ball Champion of Education honoree, Mr. Michael J. Ward. As Michael comes forward, I would also like to ask if Mr. Joseph Hendricks current president and CEO of CSX Corporation, if he would join us on the stage for a special presentation. Before Michael gives his remarks, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joseph Henricks.
Well, good evening, everyone. Michael said, wow, that's embarrassing. Well, we're gonna embarrass you a little bit more. But before I get to introduce Michael, who, as you know, served as CEO at CSX for 14 years, which is quite an accomplishment unto itself. I had the honor and privilege of serving in that capacity with 23,000 great railroaders across the country. But we do have a special event today. It's a couple birthdays, actually. Our own mayor, Donna Deegan's birthday today. Happy birthday. You probably don't know this, but it's actually CSX's birthday today, too. So we share a birthday. I didn't know that until last night. So on February 28th, 1827, we were born 198 years ago. And so we look pretty good for our age, but not nearly anywhere close to what the mayor looks. So thank you for letting us celebrate that together. But in 2 years' time, we have our bicentennial at CSX. So we're looking forward to that on February 28th. So we'll celebrate together, Mayor, if you'll allow us. But I get to introduce Michael. And Dr. Faison, thank you for those kind words. And you did a great job because Michael's been a lot. I've been in this community my wife and I, Maria, have been in this community for 2.5 years and got to know a lot. And I had lunch with Michael shortly after I was named, and Michael talked to me a lot about the commitment CSX has had to the community and all the things that Michael's been involved in, from city year to education to, of course, everything with Edward Waters and everything to do with military and arts and so many different things, and you heard a lot of that. And we at CSX are trying to carry on that legacy. And one of the things Michael asked me, and I committed to him, is that we would bring back the CSX that you were proud to lead, and that we would once again become an important part of this community. And we worked hard to live up to that legacy. But at the same time, just like Arthur, chairing this event, another great member of our CSX team, thank you for doing that, Arthur. Our presence here means something, and your presence with us means something. But tonight we're here to celebrate Michael. So Michael, thank you for representing what leaders should be, both in capacity of CEO and then after. And this community is better off because of your engagement in it, your commitment to it, not just the money, but all the involvement and the leadership from everything that you've been involved in. And you give us a lot to aspire to, and just want to say thank you and congratulations. This year's Champion of Education Award winner, Michael Ward.
Well, Joe, thank you for those kind remarks, but more importantly, thanking you for bringing CSX back into the community. It really is appreciated. We are an important part of this community. For a while, we sort of lost our way, but with Joe, we're getting back there. So, Arthur, I agree with you. Education is absolutely the key. So, as Zachary was doing his recitation, I guess would be the right word, I said, I want to meet that guy. And I actually am that guy. So I'm a first-generation college graduate, and I had 40 years at CSX, fortunately 14 as the CEO. When I became the CEO, I think you may know this, I didn't really realize it, CEOs make a lot of money. If their company is doing well, the compensation that goes with it is tremendous. So I had to look at myself, because before this, I pretty much had dedicated myself as, how do I make their life better for our employees, for our customers, for our community? And I had these tremendous amounts of money coming forward. And I said, what do I do with this? I mean, I got to make some good use of this money. And I decided that education is probably the best gift you can give anybody. It really is, no question. So back then, actually, 2003, when I became the CEO, is when I first got affiliated with Edward Waters College. And I am so proud of what's going on now. It's incredible. So if you think about our students, most of them, I think, I'm going to have these numbers about right. About 90% of them are first-generation scholars. So first generation to go to college is really important because it sets an example not only for themselves and what they can do with their lives, but usually for their siblings, that college is attainable and you can achieve that. 98% of our students have some sort of financial aid or Pell Scholars, and it really is a part of the community that we are reaching out to that really makes a difference. And so I'm so proud to be affiliated with it. And also, if you think about the Newtown area of our city, we're the anchor there, and we help it all make it work. So the progress under Dr. Faison, you've heard some of the numbers today, but for many years at EWU, we always were striving to get to 1,000 students. And we usually were around 900. We're now about 1,200. And quite frankly, we could grow even more if we had the facilities to do so. Which, by the way, Dr. Faison is working on, is getting those new facilities so we can grow even more. The campus itself has improved tremendously. There were periods of times where the maintenance was not what it needed to be. And while there's still more to be done, there have been major strides made in the experience for our students when they're there at the university. I really compliment Dr. Faison and his team have done an incredible turnaround in the last 5 years. When he came, we had a string of deficits. Almost every year was a deficit. He's not only removed those deficits, but we now are positive cash flow. We're growing our endowment. We're growing our university, improving the experience for the students. So it is on a very, very positive trajectory. So I would like to thank those of you who have been supporters of Edward Waters University over the years. And I would like to invite anyone who would like to join us in this journey to please join us, because we have something wonderful happening here. We're at 160 years. We're not quite at the 200 years of CSX, which I'm proud of too, Joe. But we're on a wonderful trajectory, and please feel free to help us go even further. Thank you very much.